It can sometimes prove to be so difficult to communicate your worth in a way that doesn't come off as arrogant or bragging or, demanding a lot. But when you know your worth, know how to communicate it, trust me, you will get the results that you're looking for. Welcome back to the last episode of our series on how to move to the UK and start a career as an engineer. Today we're going to be talking about salary expectations and how to negotiate for a higher salary and certain perks that come with the job. Now, if you've not watched any other episode before this one, go back, watch the previous episodes and then join along. Hello, my name is Tino, and if you're new here, welcome. Now, let's start with what you can expect as a salary when you move to the UK and start working as an engineer. According to statistics, currently a graduate engineer earns around 28 to 35,000 per year. If you have vast experience going further, you can rise to around 45,000 to 70,000, with most senior engineers earning around 100,000 going forward. So those are the ranges. Now, you know your experience, you know the worth that you are going to be bringing to the company, and you need to know how to communicate your worth in a way that will make people realize if they don't hire you, then that's their loss. So the best way for you to communicate your worth to a company is by showing your skills and showing how your skills are so valuable to the company that they can't do without you, to a point where even if you tell them you need 20,000 more on top of what they've offered, they can't refuse you. Another way of doing this is also leveraging on your experience, because honestly, with engineering, yes, I know and understand that the new technologies every single day, but nothing can ever beat experience. If I were to hire, I would probably go with somebody who has more experience over somebody who doesn't. So learn how to leverage your experience. And this is the surest way for them to see, okay, this person is experienced, this person has these skills. Even if you ask, like I said, for 20,000 more, they can't refuse you because you would have shown your value and communicated your value across in a way that leaves them with no room to say no. What you need to take into consideration when you're getting into these kind of negotiations is your location, as well as what field of engineering you're in. Obviously, electrical, mechanical, and civil engineers can't earn as much as software engineers and, all these tech engineers because, oh well, who doesn't love tech? We all do, and we all love tech guys because, well, they make the world go round. So obviously, you can't expect a graduate engineer who's a software engineer and a graduate engineer who's an electrical engineer to earn the same salary. The software engineer would obviously earn more. So that's another thing that you need to consider when you are getting into these negotiations. Another thing with the UK is honestly your location. If you're going to be an engineer in the UK in London and another engineer in the UK in, say, Manchester, those two will have different leverages when it comes to negotiating simply based on their location. The engineer in London is entitled to, more than the one in Manchester because of location. Cost of living in London is more expensive than in Manchester. So that could be room for negotiation for a higher salary. So be sure you are mindful of your location and see the range of salaries in that particular location. Another thing that I've seen so many times, and I'm also a victim of this, or a culprit. Is it a victim or culprit? I don't know. But I also didn't know how to communicate this. As a result, I never communicated it. So I'm going to teach you that. It's learning how to negotiate for other incentives outside of your salary. Most times when people have these kinds of negotiations, we are mostly focused on the money. Well, who doesn't love money? But yeah, we're mostly focused on the money. And if I'm being honest, there's certain things that you could also put in there when you're negotiating your salary, that will also be fundamental. For example, flexible working hours, or a budget towards your own professional development, or things like more or extended annual leave days and things like that. Those things are important, and you will never see the importance of them when you are just at the interview stage before you get the job, when you're just talking to the people. But further along the line in the job, you realize, oh my God, I could have asked for flexible working time when you need to go and drop your child off, but you need to be in the office at 10. So it becomes a problem. So these are some of the things that you can also negotiate. So you can bring that up if they don't. Say, how is the budget for, or how do you view professional development for your engineers? Right? That's how you bring the topic. And then they'll tell you how they've done it before. And then you pitch in. So how would you see, or how would you go about, coming up with a budget for professional development for me, because we're talking about you. So now that will leave them with that thought of, okay, with this person, according to their contract, we have to have a budget for their professional development. So along the way, when a new technology comes along, or when a new course comes along, you are not the last person to hear about it or even attend it. Why? Because they know they have a person that they have set a budget aside for professional development, which is a really good thing for you. You need to be progressing every single time. Now, this will be the last episode for this series, and I'm sure it has helped you a lot, because it has helped previous me or past me. I wish I'd seen this before I started this whole job hunting thing, but yeah. Now, I am so happy if you've watched the whole series and you've reached these parts. Honestly, there's nothing stopping you from starting your career in the UK as an engineer. So take all this information, put it to good use, and be sure to leave me a comment or a message. Let me know when you finally land in the UK, so we can meet up. Anyways, I'm so happy you've reached this point, and I'm glad I could help. If there are any questions that you might have, leave them in the comment section and we can always engage. Until next time, I'll see you in the next video.